D.C. prides itself on having some of the most aggressive sustainability goals in the country. Emil King, a program analyst at the Department of Energy and Environment, has had a hand in the formation of the policies and programs meant to help D.C. achieve its ambitious goals.
So my shop focuses primarily on clean energy D.C., which is the energy roadmap for getting to 50% greenhouse gas emissions reductions by 2050, and also renewable energy integration by 2032.
Associated legislation has mandated that by 2041, 5% of D.C.'s energy mix must come from locally generated solar energy. Although D.C. has the best solar market fundamentals in the United States, the city is facing a major obstacle in reaching its solar goals.
There just isn't a lot of space to put that much solar using existing technology.
D.C. is not only limited by its small geographic plot, but also by its rich history. Alterations made to the 20% of D.C. considered locally historic must comply with the rules of the Historic Preservation Office. For the residents of D.C.'s 37 historic neighborhoods, this means that they must be granted approval by the Historic Preservation Review Board if they wish to install solar panels. But as Tacoma Park Historic District resident Steve Priester found, the review board isn't as excited as the Department of Energy and Environment is about solar panels. Priester went before the review board in October to ask permission to install panels on his front-sloping roof, but was rejected for the third time.
The first person to speak after my solar company and I made my presentation said that he was an architect, and the thought of coming around the corner and seeing a row of houses with solar panels just upset him terribly.
Before Priester could even appear before the review board, he had to attend 2 of his advisory neighborhood commission's meetings and canvass a street, asking for approval from all of his neighbors.
It's been hundreds of hours.
Since Priester is a retired social worker, he was able to accommodate the time-consuming process, but Advisory Neighborhood Commissioner Jeff Bromagen fears that many residents interested in solar are discouraged or excluded because of the onerous process.
A lot of people don't have 3 hours on a Monday night. That just doesn't work in their life for a variety of reasons, and we need to be very careful about that there are just inherent equity issues in having these kind of meetings and having things just be decided because, 4 people showed up with a viewpoint.
Bromagen's colleague on the Advisory Neighborhood Commission, Aaron Palmer, also takes issue with the approval process.
I think as a commission, we've tried to push back a little bit on the aesthetic point. Some of the opposition we've heard from the Historic Review Board members is that solar panels are ugly, and the idea of walking down the street and seeing houses with a lot of front-facing solar panels would be ghastly, and we've tried to push back on that as something that wouldn't be as offensive as they say it is. They're solar panels, and maybe we should be accustomed to seeing them on nearly every house.
Together, Bromagen and Palmer drafted a resolution to challenge the review board's hostility towards street-visible solar installations. In response to the resolution and media coverage of Priester's rejection, the Historic Planning Office has worked collaboratively with the Department of Energy and Environment to create new sustainability guidelines for historic buildings. Both the proposed guidelines and Priester's latest solar panel application will go before the review board on December 19th, where they are expected to be approved.